This is the oldest known car in Canada. It was built by Henry Seth Taylor in Stansted, Quebec in 1867. Vehicles like this one are referred to as horseless carriages. It's essentially a carriage with a boiler attached to it and two cylinders, which would have converted steam to power. The speed it could go is about 24 kilometers an hour. It's not got a steering wheel. You're turning a crank to change direction. So this is your turning system. So no tight turns. So when we think about vehicle safety, it's actually alleged that this was part of the first car accident in Canada because there are no brakes. Henry Seth Taylor, when he's thinking about moving, he's not necessarily too worried about stopping. So this vehicle is a Corvair. About 50,000 of them were built between 1960 and 1965 in Oshawa. It also, when we're thinking about vehicle safety, was really instrumental in pushing that conversation forward. The Corvair was associated with many accidents. And so because of the increase in number of cars, increase in specific accidents associated with this vehicle, it really created a need for larger conversations around motor vehicle safety at a federal and even international level. There were a few issues. The engine is rear mounted. The way it was designed, it was very unstable. And so there could be like spin outs as it was turning. I've also heard cases where engines were falling out of the rear of the vehicle. It was not a reliable, dependable automobile, and that was rooted in the actual design of the car itself. So in the 1960s, Transport Canada gets involved to lay out some standards. This is a test vehicle used to test safety standards and to promote vehicle safety. They took an everyday car, a Plymouth, and equipped it with all different kinds of experiment to see how they would fare. There's also a system in the car that would be used to test your response time. Those different switches would light up and you have to click them as quickly as you could and be accurate. It's sort of a precursor to testing like driver response time. It's not your everyday drive. Things like the rear view periscope, you've got much more visibility. But if you have any kind of inclement weather, any kind of snow buildup, your periscope is not working. There's some other little features like lighting off of the front, windshield wipers on the headlights, but it's a really interesting car that really was a conversation starter. This Volvo was built in 1989, and Volvo had a plant in Nova Scotia. They have been champions of promoting safety, and not just marketing safety for their own vehicles, but in ensuring safer vehicles across industry. So Volvo actually owns the patent on the 3-point seatbelt, but it's an open patent. Anybody can use it. With this particular model, they were really promoting in the manuals, sales catalogs that we have associated with it, just how safe it was. And so they promoted things like a safety cage, rust-proof and dent-proof or chip-proof paint, sort of like undercarriage capacity and features. Volvo has been, has really stuck to how safe their vehicles are. They had a guarantee on their seatbelts, so that you could, if anything malfunctioned, that was a lifetime warranty.